There we go. Yo. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on? See if this thing. There we go. What's going on, Thomas? Sorry, man. Listen, I know it's the playoffs, but hey, listen. Gun guy, what up, man? What's going on? Vulcan Rumble is here at Flying Rich Mitch. All right, Rich. Glad you made it to Vegas. Idaho Insider, what up, man? What's going on? I see you in a minute. What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man. Yeah, what up, y'all? It was a nice, quiet Saturday, just like I like it. got my peace and quiet in. Yeah, good to see y'all, man. Hope y'all had a good, restful weekend so far. It's a 3-day weekend for me, so I'm good. What up, Reek? What's going on, yo? Good to see y'all. Yeah, I ain't even think about the playoffs, man. I don't even think about it. All I did today really was get a bunch of sleep. I ain't do nothing. I mean, I got it from I think from Lids. I think I just liked it. I thought it was cool because it had the state in it and everything, and they put Long Island on the end, so it includes Queens and everything. I ain't talking. It's Brooklyn in the building. I got no love. I ain't got no hate for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, that's where my pops is from, man. A lot of my people is from Brooklyn. I grew up in Queens. Fan, what's good? I mean, the West Coast is in the building. Big Dre, my brother from down south. What's going on, fam? Ghost Dog. Good to see y'all. Yeah, man. Oh, and Gunga, I did, man. I checked out those two Smith and Wessons. I want to get my hands on it first. I want to see. It's less expensive than the Spec V. A few $100 cheaper, so I want to see what it feels like. If it feels good in the hand, it might be another Smith and Wesson in the collection. A new one. I got a Gen 1 back here. I got that for a project. Ain't nothing with that yet. I gotta take that up the road to Pew Pew CNC. He's got a package that he does on the Gen 1s that's really nice. It does look real promising. Thank you, Insider. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. You know, for me, you get to show the shrub. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Notifications back. All right, man. Yeah, man. Nothing wrong working, man. Get that money. Get that paper. Big Easy. What up, y'all? What up? Yeah. Fan, when you heading the shot? Or you there already? When you heading out? All the gun show shut down this week for SHOT Show travel. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody out there, SHOT Show. Hope y'all have really good success. Hope y'all see some people you already got relationships with and come back with brand new relationships. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, Dr. T. What's going on? Good to see you, sis. That's my New York sisters in the building. Got to shout out the New Yorkers. Hey, what's going on? That's my baby girl. What's going on? What's going on, Vic? I do adore Fifi. That's my baby girl. What's going on there? Good to see you tonight. Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna talk about tonight. There's so much stuff going on in this world. We don't want to get depressed and down, but you know, it is what it is. I always wait till I get about 20 people in there. Let's see, then we'll start chopping it up. You know, first we're gonna get into the weight loss. Just got off the scale, so you know, I always check right before I get on, so I can have a accurate measurement to see where we are. We doing good. I think we I don't know if we ahead of schedule. We kind of on schedule, but we'll see. Hold on, I got my filter set to. I don't want top messages. I want all messages. There we go, so I can see everything. Got plenty of bad. Yeah, let's speak on some good stuff, bro. I hear that, gun guy. I hear that, man. So the new Smith and Wessons, they look promising. They do look promising to me. I want to see some new PCCs. Now, I saw Big Tap, shout out to Big Tap, sent me a sneak peek of something Canon got coming out. And I think they got a collaboration with Radian. Something with a Ramjet in it. I was just talking last night about how, if they come out with something new, I'm gonna jump on that. It's Canon. So if it's new Canon, I gotta get it. If it's something different, I gotta get it. I was just getting ready to pull the trigger on something else too. So I gotta wait. Hopefully they do like they usually do. If they don't do it right away, hopefully they'll wait and it'll be like March, April. That's what they've been doing over the past few years. Yeah, those 5-inch pistols, man. That's my thing. That's really my thing. I don't have anything that I feel comfortable carrying, because honestly, I wouldn't mind carrying a 5-inch. I need Canon to hold off so I can get it in 2027. Oh no, man, it'll be it. They're probably gonna do March, April. That's what they usually do. They probably do March, April. Smith and Wesson's looking good. I gotta see, because I'm looking. The first thing that I look for is the budget friendly stuff. And honestly, the Smith and Wessons aren't really like budget, but if right now I got some things that I wouldn't mind moving, so that helps. My Spec V, I got that because I moved a few things. I didn't pay for that out of my pocket. I just wanted that gun. I honestly just wanted it because it had a blue fluted barrel. That's why I wanted it. No other reason. It was steel, that was cool, but I saw the blue, and I got this thing with blue and red when it comes to guns. It's a thing that I got with me with them. For me, they're the best looking colors on some guns. It's a good gun guy. The trigger is terrible, but I think every trigger in every Smith & Wesson is terrible. I made a promise that I'm trying to. Bro, listen. Ghost Dog, I understand what you're saying, but sometimes, man, you know how I look at that stuff. So every once in a while, bro, I'm talking about regular gun guy, RGG. He'll say stuff to me. Him and Billy, my 5 family, go check those with my brothers out. They always ask me, "Oh man, I like this. I want to get this. What you think of it?" My first response is always, "Is it gonna make you happy? Is it? Because we only live this life once. So if it's gonna make you happy, man, listen. That's kind of how I see it. It's gonna make you happy. Everybody gonna still be able to eat. Whatever obligations you got gonna be taken care of. Then do what you gotta do. That's how I see it. Enjoy yourself, man. Sometimes I don't take any cares for tomorrow. I'm like, yo, whatever. Sometimes I can be reckless, and sometimes it's not. But you gotta do what you gotta do, man. It's about being happy in this life. Hoping that after Arm 6, she'll let up and let me go to. I hope so. That's right. Live it to the fullest, and hopefully the kids keep it going. That's right. Exactly. They'll have plenty of stuff. A lot of it they can get rid of. Some of it they can't. It's only specific stuff they ain't gonna be able to get rid of. But for the most part, and I understand that I'm buying this stuff for me now to enjoy, but it ain't going unless it's going to disintegrate and go somewhere. They'll end up with it. They'll end up with all of it. Them and my grandkids, they'll end up with all of it. And I ain't gonna have nothing to say. I'm gonna be off in the sweet by and by, the upper room. I ain't gonna have to worry about it. I'll be off. Mom better not give it nothing. I haunt the maps forever. Hey man, sometimes I feel like that, but I literally only have specific stuff that I would be like, that I'm literally gonna put in writing. You can't get rid of this. Now they still might do it anyway, but I'm still gonna. Hopefully they'll respect their daddy's wishes and do what I ask them. Cause my wife, she don't care about none of this. She don't care about none of this stuff. I can see her keeping like something that she thinks she'll be comfortable with to have around for protection. Other than that, man, listen, it'd be a fire sale. For real. That's why I said leave all the guns to the kids. All the NFA stuff, though, for right now, that's all will be passed on to her because she's the beneficiary of the trust, so she'll get that. Life still is one of your favorite. It still is. That's my favorite movie. Life is my favorite. Life and Cabin in the Sky. My favorite movies of all time. I don't think there's nothing better. Yeah, smash that like button, yo. See how many people we can get in here. Yep, see how many people we can get in here. But nah, man. Shoot, I'm not gonna wait around. We got weight loss is going good. We had 357 today. I just got off the scale. So we 98 pounds down. We started at 455. That was about 8 months ago, a little over 8 months ago. And yo, I mean, I don't know what it averages out to, but from my recollection, I was losing probably like 2-3 pounds a month, something like that. And I know I lost more than that, but I mean, that's what I recall. That's what I remember. So I know it was more, but that's what I remember. That's what I recall. Sometimes it was more, but yeah, we had 98 now. 2 more, we're gonna be at 100, probably by the end of next week, if not the middle of next week, if things keep going the way that they've been going. And we hit that one milestone. So we gotta start planning for knee surgery. Oh, I do, gun guy, man. I feel great, man. With this lifestyle change, man, I done fix my cholesterol, my blood pressure is good. I'm feeling good. My knee still hurt because I need a new one. It is what it is. I'd have to be light as a feather for it to not hurt. Then I think it would still hurt. It's just bone on bone. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. In order for me to fix that, I gotta get another one. Unless before then they come up with something where they're gonna give you some shot that's gonna start growing the cartilage back rapidly or something like that. That would be, that'd be the thing. If they did something like that, then I can keep my knee. Either way, it served me well over these 50 plus years. So if it can't keep going, gotta go on, gotta get me a new bionic one. Call it a day. 21st century. What you gonna do? I have some new snacks for you. I'll check on the ingredients to make. Yeah, that's right. Check on the ingredients. Low carb. Gotta be low carb. I'm trying to keep my carbs low. The funny thing is, I did something last night because when you're doing a low carb, the keto thing, man, you can't have no flours and stuff. So they tell you to do like coconut flour, which is it's got more carbs, but then they tell you to use like almond flour. It's got carbs too, but it's really low. And putting stuff in almond flour sucks. So I found this company called Porq, Porq. What they do is they call them keto breadcrumbs. What it is they take pork rinds. I don't know if you guys eat pork or not, and they season them and stuff, and they put them inside this jar, and it's like a breadcrumb. It's a keto breadcrumb. So last night I made me some chicken wings. It's like a smoky barbecue flavor, and I seasoned them up and everything, and made them in a George Foreman oven. Man, listen, them were some of the best chicken wings I ever had. Which was funny because I took chicken wings and breaded it in pork, basically. So it was all carnivore keto, man. It was good too. So that's what I looked at most is the carbs, because as long as you keep the carbs down, it helps with your insulin and everything. It's keeping my type 2 under control, all of that. Electric Gains, what up? That's stellar, because that was at like almost 7, and now it's like what, 5.2, 5.1, something crazy. So I'm doing good, man. I'm good. I'm in better health than I was, and we're gonna get even better. Yep, we're gonna get even better. Gotta be here. Gotta keep the old ticker going, man. Got people around that love me, people I love. I need to be here. That's one of the reasons too I want to get my knee right. Gotta be around me. None of this is a vanity project. This is all a be here project. This is a keep your heart going project. That's how I look at it. And it's good. It's funny. It's been good, and honestly, it's been kind of fun too. Learning new stuff because I'm actually a really good cook, and what this has done is taught me how to do other things that I never ventured into, like learning how to make bread. Something I always wanted to do. Shoot, actually, I learned how to make a 90-second bread in the microwave. I didn't know they had a 90-second bread, but it is just like bread. You gotta get your flavor to it, right? Add how much salt you want and everything, but you could do all different type of stuff with it, man. And it's good. It's good for you. Yep. And I got some other stuff I want to try. I bought me a stand mixer. There's some other type of bread called a keto bread. What up, Thomas? some other type called it's called a carnivore bread. And when you make it up, it looks like lemon meringue, but when you bake it up, it comes out like bread. I gotta try that. I bought a stand mixer just so I can do that. Yeah, man, it's a fun journey, and I'm enjoying taking it with y'all. It's a fun journey. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Yeah, but two more pounds. We're gonna be at 100 pounds. This will be the second time in my life that I've lost 100 pounds. Yep, the second time. Even though it's me losing what I had lost it, and then I gained back, and I'm just losing, and I'm lost more than what I gained back now. So I'm ahead of the game. So I'm ahead of when I had my stomach, when I had to get rid of my stomach. So we all good, man. Everything is good. Taking it one day at a time. No, tomorrow's not promised to nobody, but I don't expect to go nowhere. I'm not expecting to. I expect to be here. What about my knee targets? Man, I need a new one, man. Get a new one. Need a new right knee. I'm trying games. I'm out there, man. I'm in it, man. I'm focused. Once I see the results and I saw what was happening, it basically just put me back into old stuff that I was doing before. That's all. And I gotta tell you, anybody who's trying to lose some weight, the best thing to do is give up the sugar. I'm gonna tell you straight up. That's what I think out of all of this. 12 glass of prune juice might get. You're right, that's the tea. You might. You are correct. Yep, the sugar, man. The sugar is the best thing to get rid of. Too hard. Well, games, man. Still, you here, brother. That's all that matters. I'm glad you're still here. 2 heart attacks. I'm glad you're still here, brother. I'm glad it's still beating for you. I'm working in old. Said I'm wearing an old sweatshirt. Oh, and it's really baggy. All of my sweatshirts and stuff is baggy, man. This is the biggest side. I started buying the smaller ones, but the funny thing is, I still like the bigger stuff because it feels more comfortable. When you start putting the other stuff on, it's more, I guess, form fitting or clingy or whatever. I like the baggy stuff. I'm an old dude from the 90s, man. That was my thing. Everything baggy. Oh, this tight jeans, skinny jeans. I don't do that stuff. You can get 100. You can make 100 pounds, Ghost Dog. Do it, man. You can do it. That's what I'm saying. The biggest thing, y'all. I think that was my biggest thing is the sugar. I don't think you realize how much sugar we take in from different soda and juice and all of that. I just had to adapt to. My biggest thing was finding alternatives. Sugar is the best to get rid of, but man, it does because sugar is more addictive than heroin, man. You be having your brain popping. But after about, I think it takes about 10 days for you to detox off of sugar. And once you get past that 10-day mark, it's 10 to 20 days or something like that, you feel better. You don't be craving different things anymore. And when you cut the carbohydrates, you definitely don't be craving stuff. Electric gains, my weakness was soda too, man. I had to make a transition. So I drink diet soda. For sure. And everybody's different. Because some people drink diet soda and it'll still spike their glucose. When I drink diet soda, it doesn't spike my glucose. So which is good. And I know I'm just drinking a bunch of chemicals and stuff. It ain't all that good for me, but I drink that, and then I like to drink plenty of water. I like to do my mix-ins, my Kool-Aid mix-ins and stuff like that. All you gotta do is you have to be willing to find alternatives. And if you're willing to find alternatives, it'll work. Because I still get to go out and eat with my family. I just cater to wherever I'm at. I cater it to whatever it is that I'm doing. And sometimes I let myself have a little something because I don't believe in really depriving myself like that. If I see something and I want to have it, I'll have it. But you just got to get back on the horse. That's all. Looking at these kids wearing tight jeans, I'm like, you couldn't even run. That's right. Yeah, man, that tight jeans stuff, I ain't with that. I don't care. I don't care what size I am. I would never wear that. This would be the second time for me. I was 200. Wow. I went back to school online. I was up eating late and snacking and put up 300 pounds. Now, hey man, listen, that's what I did. I lost 254 pounds, and then you sort of start, cruising, and then after a while, I went look back. I had gained 90 pounds, and then my knee was like, okay, you got to do something about me. So listen, doctor, listen, I need you to do this. So it was time to do it. Same here, Tony. That helped. That helped too. Same here, man. I'd be a liar if I said it didn't help. It helped 100%. So people be all shy because you don't say nothing. You taking a shot. Let me tell you something, man. There's some egghead dude way smarter than me. Probably a few of them who was studying that and studying how that stuff helps. All these tight clothes, man, I ain't with that. And I forget, and they learned how to do it based off of some lizard, some lizard that only eats once a month or something like that, once every few months, something crazy. They figured it out. They studied dude and figured out how to do it. All they did was figure out a way. They figured out a way to synthesize what your body makes naturally. And there's a marker. I forget what it's called. They called it a striker when the guy was explaining it. Because we create GLP-1 in our body. It's natural. And what happens is the GLP-1 in our body only lasts for I think he said 2 to 4 hours. What up, BP? Good to see you. That's my hero right there. Saved my life. Thank you, brother. And it lasts for about 2 hours when you make it naturally. And then there's a thing, it's a striker. It's some D something. It's a mark, and it basically comes and cuts it off. What they figured out a way to do was to keep it in your body for a week. And basically, you reduce that marker so it doesn't strike it out. That's what they figured out how to do. So I'm not against science. I know people go crazy about different things. Whatever, man. I needed it because I didn't want to have my foot cut off and go blind and all that other stuff, and it worked fine. But what y'all think about that Drewski skit that got everybody mad? I thought it was funny. He's a comedian that was poking fun at these. Yo, I agree with him 100%. 100%. So a lot of y'all may not know. Some of you do. My background is I come from out of the church. That's my background. I come from a long line of ministers. And what up, Steve? Hey, Siege. Good to see you. Thank you. 98 pounds down, Siege. 2 more to go. We're gonna bet 100. 2 more. And I come from a long line of ministers, gun guy. A long line on both sides of my family. And so. And I've been in the church. I've been actively part of the church. I've been for a lot of years. I was, and I've seen all types of craziness. And when I saw what Drewski did, he's right. And the stuff that he was mimicking, I've seen it. The guy with the blue and white jacket, the guy when he was had show. The coolest thing to me was when he said, "I'm walking in the blood," and he had the red bottoms. I thought that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But they be doing all type of performative stuff like that, man. Taking people's money and promising them all this pie in the sky and all this other stuff. Nah, man. I used to go to church a lot. And I always tell my wife, because my wife comes from that tradition too. My wife is a very good singer. She's sung in choirs and all type of stuff for most of her life. And that's right, Dr. T. It is accurate. And I told her the only church that I go to is the one where the pastor stands up in front of the church and says, "Hey, we don't need your money. I don't need a dime from you." You know why? Because the church runs, we have businesses, we can take care of things, and we can sustain the people. If you need something, come to us. That church would actually make me want to give them money. But they don't do that. I know they be having programs, outreach, and all of that. But if the pastor lives in a $60 million home and there's one person in that church that can't eat or can't pay for their rent or nothing like that, in my opinion, he on some bullshit. And I say it to them, and I say it to anybody. There should be nobody inside your church if you live in a multi-million-dollar home that should ever lack anything, ever. Yeah, I know targets. Small Southern Baptist. Yeah, I'm like, cause you get some. When my grandfather passed away, I went down to Alabama, and because that's where he lived down in Birmingham, and there was a. What up, G-Style? There was a gentleman who did his eulogy and everything. And he was a Southern pastor. And you could see how he came out of that Southern tradition, that Southern civil rights tradition, the way that he was preaching. I mean, I was enjoying it, man. It was different than what I was used to. Because I've been to all different types of big churches and small churches and everything. And I don't got nothing against the church. I don't. I got something against the church if they on some bullshit. But other than that, listen, people get into stuff and they do it. I understand it. What up, S. Dot? There was a time when that was really big and it was a big thing in my life. It really was. I believe in God. I have my own belief system in what I believe. I do. I believe there's a God. I'm not agnostic. I'm not atheist, nothing like that. But I just believe that a lot of times they stray from the path. I agree. The pastors and their wives acting like they're, my God, wearing high price clothes and begging for my right. You want to know something? That's why I say because especially in the black church, I only speak of the black church, people get enamored with the pastor. Like he's somebody more special than you. You walk on, oh, he's the man of God, the man, like the man, like the M-A-N-D, I guess, like the man of God. You want to know something? He's a man of God. I'm a man of God too. I can read. I got a Bible. I can go get me, all types of concordances and do an exegesis. I can do all that stuff that he can do. He ain't nobody more special than I am. God don't look at him and say, oh, he's more important because he calls himself a pastor. No. I can get up tomorrow, go get me a license here in the state of Ohio, be a pastor, and call myself Pastor Zach if I want to. Call myself Pastor Fat Guy with Guns. That don't make me no better than nobody else in God's eyes. Then you get the other people, oh, you got to be called. No, I don't have to be called. You got to be the calling on your life. You think that God won't accept me if I take what the Bible that people swear by, just like the infallible word of God, which I don't agree with that either. You think if I take that, hey Michelle, if I go out and I preach that the good word, you think he ain't gonna respect me just as much as that dude or something? Oh, the call is on his life. The call might be on my life too. That's why I don't play them church games no more, man. I've been there. I've seen what goes on in church. I've seen the bull job that can go on. I've seen the good stuff that can go on. I have a lot of good relationships with people from that time in my life. Some people that I really love, that I call my brothers and sisters, that didn't come from my mother and my father. And those are my brothers and sisters that I love to this day. And, it's sort of, that church thing can get weird. That's right. That's right, gun guy. He says hi, looks down low. Yeah, he ain't better than me. Not better than me at all. I took my kids to church until they made confirmation. After that, I haven't been back. But now, man, I used to let little Zach go with his grandma. Because I don't have a regular church home. I honestly don't believe that I need to have one. Because in my mind, the church is not in any four walls anyway. That just causes too much problems. The people that you need to be getting to, if that's what you're thinking, that's your bag, if you're into evangelizing and all of that, or the people outside in the street. When you get behind those walls, man, there's too much stuff that goes on. I've seen it. There are good churches out there. There are people who really practice what they preach. They believe what they believe and they practice what they preach. I wouldn't dare say that everybody was on some bull. I wouldn't dare say that because then I'd be wrong. I wouldn't do that. Because there's some people who are about it. And they really believe what they believe. I agree, churches, wherever you speak with. Yeah, I agree with you, gun guy, because that's what it is. Helps teach basic morals, teach them the right young, and hopefully it sticks. That's right. It does. It puts you in a certain mindset. What ends up happening is, and I know this from experience, when you get into certain settings, and you basically end up being in almost like an echo chamber. You do. Even we do. Even us being gun people, we end up in sort of like an echo chamber. Now, guns aren't tied to my eternal salvation or damnation, so it's not that important. But when you have something that has been put into somebody that's tied to where they think they're going to spend eternity, it's hard to break them out of certain things, man. It's hard to get over the cognitive dissonance. It is. It's just really hard. And one day you wake up. If you keep looking, you wake up and you'll step outside of that and you'll see, hey, man, I've been in this box, just like I'm telling these people, you got to get free. You don't want to be shackled. He who the sun sets free is free indeed. And I'm sitting there calling myself worshiping the sun, and I ain't free because I'm sitting in a box and I'm shackled. But you don't know it until you get outside the box. I do believe in studying religious texts. It helps expand the way you see it. Yes, it does, Siege. 100% it does. 100%. It helps you. Because really what you're studying is you're studying someone else's culture. When you start looking and you start studying those religious texts and things like that, you're studying someone else's culture. And what I've learned too, because I was hard, we were hardcore. You were against everybody. You were against Muslims. You were against like the Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witnesses, all of that. It's almost like a thing, like a us against them. And what I've learned to understand now, as I've moved past that is all this stuff is people trying to what we call the supernatural, trying to put a natural understanding on what we call the supernatural. That's all it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Tony. Hunt and fish with your pastor, man. That's fun. That's all it is. It's everybody's quest for what they consider to be God to try to put something on it so that they can understand what it is. Because if I think about some of the stuff that I was taught and some of the stuff that I learned, and I look at it, and I look at where I'm at now, and I look at what I consider to be God or what I consider to be the higher power, however you want to categorize it, some of that stuff is totally contradictory. It makes no sense. It's like you'll have a person who will believe and believe and believe. That's a big thing. If you have faith, you have to have the faith of a mustard seed. There are people who have had the faith of a mustard seed, and that loved one who was sick still died. That money that you needed never came through. You got evicted. Your lights went off anyway. You couldn't pay your water bill, stuff like that. What do you say to those people? What do you say? They're going to look at you and be like, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Because you're steering them down the wrong path. I believe that God has given me everything that I need in order to be able to make money, to be able to do whatever I want to do. I got a sound mind. My body's still sound. I can still do stuff. I'm strong. So I can do what I need to do. And if I'm feeling weak, every once in a while, something happens and I feel real weak, and I have to call on him like, listen, I can't do this. I'm trying. And you see me trying hard. Now, you're going to help me? I hope so. But if you're not and something falls through, I also have this thing where I believe that God is sovereign and he knows all. I believe that no decision that he makes is wrong. That's me. So it is what it is. Thank you, Rev. Tony, appreciate that. Faith has gotten me through some dark days and hard. Yes, Siege, it has. Same here. If I didn't have something that I could believe in other than me, because sometimes I fail me, man. We all do. Sometimes we fail ourselves. And I need to be able to reach back into something. I believe that there's a God. I believe someone created me. Someone created us. Someone created this universe. And I believe that he listens. But I also understand that he does whatever he wants to do. What up, DB? And I can't force him to do anything. So he does what he wants to do. And when things happen, I hope that he decides that, hey, I'm gonna look down and I'm gonna do whatever. And I'm gonna help him out. But sometimes that doesn't come. Because you can't live off miracles. Sometimes that does not come. I do believe in some things, though. I believe in the laws of the universe because they're undefeated. Like sowing and reaping. I believe in that. You reap what you sow, things like that. Some stuff I think is part of the universe or whatever you want to call it. Because I've seen it happen. I've seen it work. I've seen some stuff happen that's like almost unexplainable. Yeah, I mean, but nah, man, I don't subscribe right now to, I guess, any religion you want to call it. I just don't. But I do believe in God, though. I do pray. I do talk to him. I talk to him like I'm talking to y'all. You know, I ain't gotta get in the corner and put a rag on my head. And what up, Coy? Put a rag on my head and go crazy. Oh Lord, I beseech you. No, I don't do that. I sit in that chair just like this, and the way I'm talking to y'all, I talk to him. Because I don't believe that I can offend him. I think it's weird. If you believe that someone or some being or whatever is all powerful and all knowing, that means before it even came out of my mouth, he knew it. Before I thought it, he knew it anyway. If not, he ain't all powerful and all knowing. And I believe he's omnipresent. I believe he's everywhere all at once. So, those are my own things. Yeah, it's just those are the things that help you get through the times, man. I have this thing where I'll worry about things but my life, I have to say, has not been bad. And I have to say that what I call God, my idea or concept of it, has taken care of me. I have to say that. Even if stuff fell through, I still had my mind. My mind was still right. And I still had the ability to create things. How can you offend someone who already knows all your bullshit? Exactly, Coy. Exactly. But some people don't think like that. You get the most staunch people of faith, religious people, whatever you want to say, and they'll talk about God being all powerful and all this, and he can't do this and that. I know some people like that. They won't watch no horror movies. They won't because they scared something going to jump off on them and all this. If you believe that the most powerful thing that ever was, that created everything, basically lives on the inside of you, his active power lives on the inside of you, why are you scared of anything? Why are you scared of anything? Tell me, riddle me that, Batman. Why would you be scared of anything? If I think the most powerful thing moving that created everything, evil things, good things, or if I believe that, why am I scared of anything? Tick Wayne, what up, bro? Yo. Europeans were not the first to spread Christianity and convert. Okay, Clint. I mean, and that's the thing, man. There's Ethiopian stuff that I don't know much about, that I hear about from time to time. That, you know, that's why I don't. But then the thing is too, when I look at Christ and I look at Jesus and you look at his story, you know that there are stories of, I guess, I don't know if you want to call them entities or whatever, that precede him, that are basically identical to his story. You do know that if you go study it. There is stories that are similar to his story, but preceded him by thousands of years. What you gotta say about that? Oh, Tick Wayne, appreciate you, brother. You know you get the shoulders from me. I ain't get my bell yet. When I get my bell, I ring my bell too. That's why I'm not in that Gilgamesh flood story copy. There you go, hey Clint from Noah. All right, that's what I'm saying. This stuff has been here, man. I believe whatever happens was meant to happen because it was already written. Now I'm not going to do anything to speed it up. We all have an expiration date that we don't know. Yeah, I believe that too. I believe I'm not going to be here 1 second more than I'm supposed to be. And while I have this fleeting time, which is what we have, I need to do the best that I can, be the best person that I can, be nice to people, do what I can. That's why you have to read and study ancient texts. King James Version is not the authority. Oh, it is not for sure, Siege. It is not. Now, I grew up thinking that was the case. But no, it's not. Anybody that knows the history of the King James Bible, and if you know a little bit about the history of the King James Bible was written a certain way because, back in the days, peasants didn't have books. Only rich people had books. So King James was having a problem in his kingdom, controlling the subjects. It was really kind of smart what he did, because he decided, I'm going to take this thing right here, tie it to them, and use this thing to control them. The King James Version is written in such a way, that's right, to control people's minds. Just go do it. If you don't, just go do a study on the King James Version and why the Bible is the way that it is. What up, Big? What's going on, bro? The Enuma Elish creation story copied into different parallel. Oh, okay. Hey, Clint. That's what I'm saying. And then there's plenty of people that know way more than me. But I know I choose to believe in a certain thing. And I choose it. I guess it's just my prerogative. Because I've been places, I've seen things, I've seen stuff happen, I've seen whatever you want to call it. But I mean, and I take comfort in some of that stuff. It's part of me, is what I know. But there was a real staunch time in my life where there was a certain way where I condemned people. I did stuff that all is not loving, that I didn't, that had nothing to do with love. Where I have grown to be a person where, live and let live. I tell people to worship what their people believed in before these main religions. Okay, Clint. Yeah, my thing is, man, I live and let live. It's stuff that I don't understand. Now, if you're a creepy fool and you out here trying to do something to children, or you're a weirdo, or you trying to do something to women, or you trying to do whatever, I can't rock with you. I'm going to condemn you. I'm against you. And if you do something to one of mine, it's a good chance you're not going to see any more years here on this earth. You're going to see the afterlife, whatever that is. But there are other people who are into all different types of things. There's people who are into that. There's gay folks. There's transgender folks. There's all types. Listen, I don't understand a lot of it. The mentality of it, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's their life. Just live and let live. That's how I look at it. And whatever they call their creator or their God or whatever they feel that they answer to, that's between them and that deity or whatever they call it. Doesn't have a damn thing to do with me. People are religious, I believe. People, they are scared of death and what comes after. I think that too. Ganga said all of us are together every week, multiple times a week, but not by accident. We are like-minded people. The good Lord places us together. I believe that too. Yeah, and that's the thing. People, you want to put something on because you don't know what comes after. You don't know if, I don't know. I don't know if one day everything just going to stop and that's just going to be the end of me. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that. It's hard for me to believe that my consciousness or whatever you want to call it is just going to stop and just going to fade away and I'm not going to be here anymore. It's hard for me to believe that. But that may be the way that it is. I don't know. I hope it's not. That's right, Siege. You try to be better each day. That's right. That's what I try to do. Every day. Try to work on myself. Got nothing to that's right. That's right, Rev. Nothing to do with me. Let folks live, man. That's how I look at it. Let them live. I knew a guy that I used to work with, a guy named Harry. And I worked with him for a lot of years. We worked at the same company. We sat across from each other. And we played video games together. I used to play World of Warcraft a long time ago. And Harry was real heavy in the World of Warcraft, and all of us there in the office were. And Harry's a gay guy. And we used to have these conversations. I used to ask Harry all these questions because he was the only gay guy that I really knew to ask questions of. And I learned about him as a human being. I learned about what goes on in their community, about the things that he don't like how he doesn't like flamers. That's what he calls them. Men that run around trying to act like women. They don't like that. So I'm a man. Because I'm a gay man. I like other men, but I ain't no flamer. I want to be me. I'm a man. Stuff like that. I used to ask those type of questions. I learned that he taught me something. He taught me a thing about a group of people that I knew nothing about because I never was around them, ever. And it started changing and shaping my thinking about different things. And I started seeing there's different people that I remember seeing in my family that I look at, some that I really love, and I started seeing things that when I was younger I didn't know, but I know now what those things were that I was looking at. They were just normal to me if it was them, but I see what that stuff is now. That's what I'm saying. If I have to hate you or dislike you, it's because you're an asshole. Basically that. This is only the beginning. Life may not continue, but our spirits are. That's right, Chick Wayne. That's what I say, man. I just can't believe that one day everything just gonna go black and I'm just gonna be gone. I'm not gonna be here anymore. I just believe that I'm connected to something greater, that I'm still gonna be around, a remnant of me, some kind of way. And I think my consciousness is gonna know it, because I'm energy. And energy just doesn't dissipate like that. That's just something I believe, man. I just don't think that one day I'm just gonna stop. I just know this body might stop, but what makes me, I don't think it's gonna stop. The part of me that didn't come from me. Let me put it that way. And that's like I said before. That's part of me trying to put some understanding on something that I really don't have an answer to. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it at all. Like Seed said, man, your faith sometimes believing get you through some dark stuff, man. You some dark times, yo. For real. And I'm talking about just like dark times just with you, where you got to deal with yourself. That may not have nothing to do with anybody outside of you. You dealing with what's going on inside of you. I know I ain't the only one that woke up one day and hated somebody so much that, I want to go kill them. I know I'm not the only one. And something I learned from one of my older brothers, is that dark side of yourself, you need to learn how to embrace it. That's something that he taught me. He's really wise when it comes to that type of stuff. Learn how to embrace the dark side of yourself, because it's part of who you are, and it gets you through some hard times. Every once in a while, it may help you have to fuck some shit up, because every once in a while you do. Every once in a while you got to go in and raise some shit. Have get exact shows. Oh, thank you, Tony. I don't know if I'm deep, man. I think about stuff. I think about stuff, man. That's all. I think about things. Right. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it at all. Everybody has a dark side. Everybody has different proclivities. Everybody, man, embrace who you are. Be your authentic self. Never try to be anybody else. That's why with you guys, I always am who I am. When you meet me in person, the same guy you see on here, the same guy you're gonna meet me in person. I'm the same. I'm never gonna not be me. If you can't accept me, then I can't be bothered with you. Because I am, because I'm gonna accept you. I'm gonna accept you for who you are. If I know that, if I come to find out that you're an asshole, I might stay away from you and I may treat you a certain way, but I'm gonna accept you for who you are. That's why I expect you to accept me for who I am. I ain't a bad guy. I don't have bad intentions for anybody. Like I say, if I end up having bad intentions for you, it's because you did something to deserve it. You earned it. And then the older I get, the more I understand that a lot of stuff don't mean nothing. It's just getting caught up and bogged down and stuff is just, it's just bullshit. It is what it is. Life's too short, man. We're gonna be here, we're gonna be gone. And I learned one thing from who I consider to be the greatest man that I've ever known is my father. My father is 84 years old. And my father told me when he was probably about, he might have been 82. I went to visit him. And my father told me that he was still striving and learning how to be the man. And when he told me that, I was shocked out of my mind. I was shocked. Totally shocked. Say discernment comes with age sometimes. Yes, it does. See, I'm learning that more and more. I tend to keep the a-holes around because they keep the other a-holes. That's funny, good guy. Yeah, man, this journey is something else. It is short. Like I said, I was talking with my daughter today, with my daughter's mother, my baby mama. I was talking with them today. I can remember and talking with her because we don't talk all the time. I was talking with her today, and we've had bad blood between us in the past before. We just have. But talking with her today and listening to her and hearing her maturity and different things, it was good. It was good talking to her because there was a time when we was big buddies. We was friends. We had a kid together, and it was cool talking with her and being able to have a civil conversation and talking about our daughter. I was like, it was cool. I hope she's out there watching. I told her I was gonna be on live, be on the live tonight. It was cool sitting talking with her. It was good, and I wasn't feeling no grudges, no nothing like that. I was like, I said, all right, this is cool. Even though we might have had bad blood or whatever, she still my firstborn, my baby. She still gave me my firstborn. That's my baby. My little Zach is the baby, but Bink, my daughter who's in the chat, she's my baby. That's my first. So she still gave me my first, man. So I can't look at her and say she was just terrible, man. And that was years ago, man. We grown. We in our 50s now, man. What's your ethnicity, if you don't mind? My ethnicity? I'm a Black American. Oh, hey, what up? She right there with her. All right, what up? What's going on? What's going on, BTG? Yeah, man. So you like you said, Siege. Discernment comes with age sometimes, and I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago, let alone 25 years ago. My daughter's 30 now. I'm definitely not the person I was 30 years ago. There's growth there, and from talking to her mama, I see growth there too. From talking to her, I appreciate your extensive knowledge of many subjects outside of guns. Most people don't want to discuss or just refuse to discuss. Keep doing what you do. Appreciate that, G-Style. Oh yeah, man. Guns are my thing. Guns are my thing. I got into guns, and I think guns became my thing because it was really like singular. It was just me. It's a selfish part of me. Honestly, it's a selfish part of me. Is how I got into it, and I love it. I love the guns, the making of them, all that type of stuff. I love the art of shooting because I believe shooting is an art. When you watch certain guys that do it crazy, I believe it's an art, and I love guns. But there's so much more stuff outside of guns, man, that's interesting and that you can get into. So Steve Love, what up, Big Zo? What's going on, bro? There's so much other stuff, man. Life is interesting, yo. You did a good job, cause when I see you, baby, talking about recipes, she got for you and looking up for her. Yeah, man, my daughter loves me, and I didn't have hard times with my daughter. I ain't always been the best dad. I'm willing to admit that too. I ain't always been, and I don't make any excuses for it. But I'm older now. She's like I said, she's my firstborn. Got my grandbabies, my 3 grandbabies that are beautiful. My granddaughters and my grandson. That's my only grandson. Those are my granddaughters. I mean, listen, man. I love my family, man. I wish they were closer. Guns are a gateway to great company. They sure are, Dr. T. Tons of other things, man. Always. But you know, it's I don't know, man. Oh, tomorrow, video dropping tomorrow. On the Olight PLX. I done had it for a while now. I know it's been a minute. All I've been focusing on really is losing weight. But I gotta get that out tomorrow. It's gonna be a code and everything with it, and the code don't go live till Monday. That's why I waited. Say, I'm my father's child. Yeah, she is. She is. She is. My daughter is a female me, without a doubt. Any of y'all that might have got to meet her, she's a female me, yo. Jimmy Walker, what up? 98, Big Zo. 98, brother. 2 more to 100, man. 2 more. 98 pounds, man. We almost there. Yep, 98. It took about 8 months, Big Zo. A little more 8 months. I ain't to 100 yet, so it's definitely been 8 months now. Because it was the beginning of June when I started. I think that doctor's appointment was like June 8th or something like that. That's when I went and talked to her because I had an issue with my knee. My knee did something funny that had never happened before. And I was talking to that doctor. She was like, maybe you might want to try one of them shots. It may help you out. And then when I went and got all my blood work and stuff done, and my A1C was through the roof, and I was slowly dying and didn't know. And went and got myself right. So now, man, doing good. Cholesterol looking good. Blood pressure looking good. Maybe I can get me another 30 years, 35 years. Who knows?
Person detected near your floodlight cam.
That's the wife. And it was pretty quick. 8 months is not long at all. It's not. Nah. Boxing is a great workout. You going to watch Teofimo Cookhart. Is that tonight, Clint? Is that tonight? Because if it's tonight, I didn't know the fight was on. RGG usually tell me when the fights be on. And I'll go check them out. Because if that's tonight, I will. When I'm finished here, I'll put it on. She is. She just came in. He went out to get something to eat. Yeah, I'll check that out. Okay. I will put that. Matter of fact, hold up. I know that was on right now. Let me see what we got going on up here. It's not on Netflix, is it? It's on like the regular pay-per-view? I mean, either way I can see it. It don't matter.
Near your floodlight cam.
Yeah, either way, it don't matter. January 31st. Are you playing Tecmo Bowl? That's old school. That's one of the favorite and best video games of all time, Tecmo Bowl. Whenever I used to play Tecmo Bowl, I always wanted to be Bo Jackson. Because Bo Jackson always seemed to be able to do whatever he wanted to do in the game. Going to watch the. Okay. That's right. You better get Bo Jackson. Let me see. This thing is still updating and downloading. See what we got going on. I don't pay for no TV. I pay for internet. That's it. It is what it is. The 31st? Okay. All right, cool. Let me go back to YouTube then. Let me get back to YouTube. All right, I went right back. That's what I wanted. Yeah, man, but I don't know. What else we got to talk about? We want to talk about religion. Don't forget tomorrow night. watch the video. Like I said, it's gonna be a code I'm gonna have and everything that goes live on the 19th, which is the reason why I didn't drop my video like everybody else did on the same day. They had a window that they wanted you to do it, and they send me the codes, and I'm like, the codes don't go live to the 19th, so I was like, I'm not doing this until the day before, so then everybody can go check it out and see if you like it. But it's a good solid light, and I'm not a light guy. That's not what I do. I don't do a bunch of lights and all of that. I don't. But I appreciate Olight for sending it out to me, and not to mention the fact they got good customer service. And I've been rocking with them for a lot of years, a long time. You say it's like you into revolvers much? Nah, I only got like 3 revolvers, gun guy. Oh, they are okay, Big Zo. Destro, what up, man? What up, Dave? Yes, I'm gonna drop that video tomorrow. Be a little short video, nothing long. Because with the flashlights and stuff, those videos are like you can't really go real long with them because I don't want to be boring and long-winded. But yeah, it's a good option. It comes in at a great price, which I think is good. It's solid. It's built solid. And I think it's really innovative. I think it's a little innovative light they came out with. It's something that I would have bought if they didn't send it to me. And I wasn't expecting them to reach out to me. Have you seen the Canik Prime Radiant? I have seen it, man. I haven't. I seen the tease video, BTG. Big Tap sent it to me earlier today, man. I saw it. Didn't I tell y'all if there was a new Canik, I was going to have it? So it looks like this year I'm having another Canik. I got it, man. If they come up with when they come up with the new stuff, I gotta support. That's what I do. Yep, I gotta support. Gotta support. That's what has me getting the Canics when they do the new stuff because I support the company. Have you seen the news on the new Black Panthers? Do you think that he's a? Yeah, I did say. You mean the cat in Philly, Dr. T? I did. I saw that. Have you seen the SIG? I saw the it's something I saw Big Zo and I know that they had. It was something 365. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have one BTG for sure. My PSA and come out with a shotgun. Yeah, they come. I saw that shotgun that goes up under your AR. I saw that. I saw that today too. But yeah, I don't think Dr. T. I don't think that's a plant. So we're gonna talk about this a little bit right now. We're gonna move into the whole ICE thing because I look at this stuff from a Second Amendment advocate sort of purview, I guess. I look at it from that because there's a certain ideal that I grew up with in this country. Being a black man in America is difficult because there's certain things and we know that the stuff isn't designed for us or whatever. I know that. I mean, folk don't gotta agree with me, but it is what it is. And I think that what's happening is this country was built on a certain thing. It just was. And I always go back to the first American, the first human being that lost their life for this, what we call republic or democracy or whatever you want to call it, was a black man. So the Tree of Liberty, the first blood that watered the Tree of Liberty was one of our ancestors. It was a black man. So when I see certain things going in this country, it pisses me off. Piss me the hell off. And I don't like it because even though the system is not perfect, there's a certain way that I'm used to things being. Say a lot of bootlickers have shown their colors off the Minnesota shoot. Right. Shot that woman. It's ridiculous. And then if you know like the true what the Panthers were, the Panthers, they were about black folks, but they had alliances. There were Asian Panthers and other different type of Panthers. I mean, it was about almost like, I want to say a multicultural thing. It was about being free. It wasn't just about for one group of people. And when you see what's going on in the street, I'm a black man in America. I'm a black man in America who carries a gun 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time. And if some fools roll up on me with masks on asking me for papers, fuck out of here. I'm not telling you shit. I'm from Queens, New York. That's where I'm from. So I'm not showing you no fucking papers. This ain't Nazi Germany. I got to show you and prove to you who the hell I am. Get the fuck out of my face. And that's how all of us should be. See, that's what the Second Amendment is for. I got my Z-Pack. I hear that. I seen the post stating ICE don't have to abide by. And that's not true, Dave. They do. And a judge is telling them that. What you're trying to do is, you got a clown that's in the White House who wants to be a mafia boss. See, I grew up in New York City when Donald Trump was a big thing. He wants to be a mafia boss. He wants to be a Gambino or a Lucchese, or he wants to be one of those. That's what he wants to be. Because in New York City, growing up in a certain time, those are the people that were revered, especially being in what he was in. He worked in real estate and all that different construction and stuff like that. And that's who ran New York City in those days. The Gambinos and the Lucchese's and those other families, that was a big thing. He wants to be that. And that's why he's acting the way he is now. Not to mention the fact that he's having some sort of dementia going on. He had a stroke and he's losing his mind. He's 79 years old. So he's got these people out here trying to create their own army. And then they want to create a white Christian ethno state. That's what they're trying to do. If anybody knows who Stephen Miller is an avowed white supremacist. I don't care what anybody said. That's what he is. All you got to do is sit and listen to him. They have no good anything for anybody that's not white and Christian. They don't even like white Christian women. They want to subjugate them too. But that's a whole other thing. And as a black man in America, a legally armed black man who is armed to the teeth, I don't stand for that bullshit. I don't believe in that brown shirt she come. There ain't no papers, please, here. This is the United States of America. Ain't no papers, please, here. And I ain't no slave. I ain't got to carry my emancipation papers around me so master said I was free. Fuck all that. I ain't got to do that. Now, being armed and having a gun don't mean that I'm going to make it out. But it gives me a shot. But I'm an American. That's how I look at it. I'm a black American. I don't know anything else. And we need to. There was a spirit of revolution that started this place, that started this country. There was a spirit of revolution. And that needs to sweep back through here. Because you got somebody, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter what you feel about the country or what you feel about anything. What up, well-dressed? No matter what you feel, there are certain freedoms here and things that we can do that other places people can't do. And when you got somebody coming along that wants to basically make you a subject because they want to be a king and they want to be a mafia boss, and you can't talk bad about them, you can't say nothing about them. If you say something about them, it's going to be slander and all type of, that's bullshit. So I sit and I watch that Carolyn Levitt bitch. Her talk all that bullshit. And these are people who quote unquote supposed to be Christians and ain't none of them Christ-like at all. None. Whether you believe the Bible or not, or ever read the Bible, what they do, it ain't got nothing to do with what goes on in the Bible. They don't. It doesn't. It's bullshit. And when I saw them go in and wholeheartedly, you want to change. If they want to give it a Martin Luther King's Day, they want to get a Juneteenth. They want to change all the exhibits so it doesn't show much about slavery because the white man's feelings are hurt and all of this. Listen, it ain't my fault that your ancestors was a lineage of evil and did all type of bullshit to my people. And you want to be mad about it? Do better. Do better than what your ancestors did. Then we don't gotta look at it. It's just an extension of white supremacy. That's why he made his own army. That's why in that last bill that they called a big beautiful bill, which was some bullshit, it has all of that money that they gave them. He's building his own army because he thinks he needs to. Let me see what BTG said. That's right. Zach, Stephen Miller is running all. That's right. Stephen Miller is running everything. All of this stuff that's going on. It's a good distraction for him. Yeah, that's what it is. Best believe I won't be the only one. That's right, and that's the thing. But as American people, we need to stand up to that bullshit. So that's what I'm saying. There's a certain ideal that was instilled and put inside of me. I believe in we the people, yo. We don't always get along. The most I saw us getting along was when the whole 9/11 thing happened. I remember that I was in New York at the time, and the country sort of got galvanized. We still had bullshit, but it got galvanized because somebody attacked us. Right now, the enemy ain't at the gate. The enemy is sitting at the table with us. The enemy is inside the gate. Matter of fact, the enemy is running the house. The lunatics are running the asylum, yo. White people think they were the first to adopt Christianity and spread it. Definitely, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. This is a thing where because we're only 13 to 14% of the population, that's why we need to sit back to a certain degree. That brother in Philadelphia, I was glad he was doing what he was doing. I'm glad he felt that way, because that needs and that sentiment that you saw, that is gonna sweep across the country, because there is a silent group of people. I'm talking about vets and other people who won't say anything, they won't talk, they won't do anything until the time is right. And then they'll get out there and like, nah, because there are people who really believe in the ideals and the Constitution of this country, who have went places and fought, lost blood, all type of stuff. And they did it for the guy standing next to him, and because they believed in what it was they were fighting for. And when you look at certain things, especially when I look at my vets, Lord knows we don't want California to start rioting. No, we don't. But when I look at it, and you look at there's veterans who sit around and they watch this stuff. That's why I'm like, I don't know how any veteran can follow this guy, can follow this clown. Here is a guy who said that he did not want to go and be in the army because he had bone spurs, or he couldn't go. We know he didn't want to go because he was a pussy, but he had bone spurs, and that's why he couldn't go. No, because his daddy was rich and got him out of it. And then he goes on the Howard Stern show and starts bragging about how he was here. He had his own Vietnam. His Vietnam was trying not to catch up and trying to be with a bunch of different women, which I don't believe that anyway, because I think he a clown. I don't think he had no bunch of different women. I think he liked little girls, but that's something else. Truth be told, the main reason gun control was the highest now because of black men. That's right. That's right, gun guy. So that's why I go back to what I was saying. I don't get why any vet would follow this guy. He's disrespected veterans. I ain't always agree with John McCain, but the thing he said about John McCain went and left blood somewhere. He was fighting, got something, got captured, and was tortured, all type of stuff. That's why he had the short arms. They messed him up. I respect that man. Even if I didn't agree with everything, I didn't agree with his politics, I didn't agree with all of his stuff, I respect him because of what he did. Anybody that's willing to sacrifice part of themselves and go somewhere, I respect them. Aside from that, Zach, they are straight shitting on veteran. Yeah, they are, and the benefit they are. I don't see how any veteran can follow this clown and follow this administration. Any person, period. But I get it. There's a certain group of people who really hate others who are not like them. It's the truth. It just sort of, it is what it is. And people don't like to talk about it, but we need to talk about it. I got to move around in this world. I got youngsters, I got a young black man who's a big young man. And I know how that stuff is looked at. I had to have some small and crazy incidents. And you got to act a certain way. MAGA is a cult. That's what it is. It's a straight cult. Because anytime, and I've been in cult-like settings. I've been a part of cult-like behavior where whatever the person who's at the top says, no matter what, is never what he says, is never what he means. Whatever he says is always right, even if he on bullshit, and you're going to defend him at all costs. I sit and I watch these people, man. It's almost like I can see it, like I can see it in their mind when people start talking to them, and you throw facts at them, and you throw truth at them, and they do everything. The cognitive dissonance is strong, and they dance around to make everything that he's doing right. It is. It's a cult, straight up. I agree with that 100%. Because nobody is right 100% of the time. And that's why I get on the Christian folk. I get down on them. How you call yourself a Christian, a Christ follower, and you following this clown and what he's doing? Talking about he's sent by God. No, he wasn't. They hate us, but love our culture. You know it, targets. They love our culture. Our culture rules the world. Everybody tries to emulate us. Everybody in every part of the globe tries to emulate us, unless they don't know about us. And I got the cat that I like to watch on YouTube. His name is Ace. Ace goes all over the world finding other people of color, black folks that he didn't know in different countries. And when you get over there, these people be like Papua New Guinea and being like in the corner of Papua New Guinea. They know who 50 Cent is. They know who a lot of the rappers are. They know who the J. Cole's are. And they're not like us. My man Kendrick, they know all these people. They know the Ice Cubes and the LLs, and they know the Jay-Z's. Our culture rules the planet. They're all trying to dress like us, talk like us, be just like us. It is what it is. Anytime they defend the YouTuber the way they did that Kirk guy. Ah, man, listen, that guy was a clown. I knew all about that guy. It was funny because it shocked me the day that happened. When I saw what happened, I wasn't expecting that. Because the last thing that I saw, he was over in, I think, South Korea. I think he was over there talking about how bad things were here in the States, about how if we had this over there, and it would be all messed up and destroyed. He was over there shitting on Americans, supposed to be an American first guy, over there shitting on Americans in another country. And all he had was bad things to say about black folks. That's all he had was black folks. Our women are stupid. We just a bunch of criminals. That's all he said. You know, we're not smart enough to do anything. Anytime we get hired anywhere, it was some sort of DEI hire or whatever. That's all he did. That's why I am a person who, because someone dies, doesn't change who they were the second before they checked out. If you were an asshole before you checked out, when you checked out, you got to the other side, you still an asshole. Whatever that is. You didn't change. You still that same piece of shit you were when you were here. You that when you got to the other side. Unless you made amends before you left here. That's my belief. Take it for what it is. I can do it right now, so I have to be careful what I speak on. But when I finish this contract, I promise myself I'm going to write a book. It's crazy. I hear that gun guy, man. You got to abide by your rules, bro. I understand that. He was done by his own. Right. And that was the thing, Destro. They say, see, they're already starting to use the same language. I'm just doing my job. Yep, that's what they're doing. We all know that. That's exactly. That's what happened. That's what happened over there in Germany. I'm just following orders. But if you're a military person, if an order is illegal, you have every right to disobey it. That's part of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You have every right to disobey an illegal order. It's actually part of your policy. Hey, Louis Soros. Hope I said that right. Oh, Louis, what up? All right, goes on. Exactly. All that don't talk. Oh, the dead. Yeah, that's bullshit. If a dude left out of here, the last thing that dude said, the question was asked to him about crime. And he said, does that include gang violence? That's code for black people. And the next second, he was off into the great beyond. If someone's voice is hateful in this world, and this is how I look at it, and you got a hateful voice, and all you do is basically preach hate. That's what you do. I don't care if you try to disguise it behind the Bible or you try to disguise it behind Christianity. That don't mean shit to me. If you talking evil and your voice is evil and doesn't foment or ferment, whatever you want to call it, some sort of love or some sort of togetherness or whatever, and your voice is just hateful, when your voice is gone from this realm, I'm happy your voice is gone from this realm. I rejoice over it a little bit. If you hate my people and all you do is talk bad about my people and then your voice is gone and it's not here anymore, I don't feel bad. There is nowhere in anybody's text where you're taught that you have to love and respect evil. Nobody, under nobody's religion. Even a Satanist, they have different beliefs, but they don't go around loving and hating evil. Just you understand what I'm saying. You might say, oh, they talk about Satan. Understand what I'm saying. You don't have to. Nobody tells you that you have to love evil. Nobody. So that's why I didn't shed a tear. I didn't cry. I didn't care. I saw a lot of people out on YouTube capping and talking, caping for the guy and talking all of this and all of that. Oh, we wish Charlie the best. No, I don't give a damn. And I'm going to tell you something too. I don't give a fuck about his wife. She knew who he was when she married him. And if I go a step further, I don't give a fuck about his kids either. They might be better off now because maybe they'll learn something else and they won't be raised up by a hateful bastard to teach them that some other people, just because they don't look like them, weren't as good as them. It might be better off now. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I'll never get away from it. Yeah, that's another one too, Clint. Yeah, free speech is a thing, but your words have consequences. If you speak evil things. That's right. That's right, Ghost Dog. And the funny thing was, he's the guy, he was about our Second Amendment rights. He said that unfortunately, in this country, for us to be able to have our Second Amendment rights, that a few people may have to die each year so we can be free. You know something? Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you. He was one of the ones. So I can be free to have all these guns. Thank God. That's all I got to say. And I'm not mentioning no words about it. I teach my son that. I tell my daughter that. She listening. No. You never have to love evil. And you don't have to feel sorry when evil is gone. When evil is gone, you're supposed to rejoice. You're not supposed to be sad about it. And anybody who listened to that guy for any sort of time, not just because you just heard about him. That's what I say. I'm into a lot more stuff than just guns. I've listened to this guy, his own words out of his mouth. My people, my black people, he didn't care. He didn't care about them. He thought that we were lower than him. Just because we were black, we're inherently evil and criminals and stupid and all that other stuff. And if you spewing that type of stuff against my folk, I got no love for you. And if your voice is gone and you still doing that, good. I'm glad you're not on the earth anymore. So you can't spread that bullshit and that hate and that propaganda against people that you probably didn't even know. Because he probably mad because he couldn't get no girls when he was in high school and some brother took his girl that he wanted. The crazy part about it is I don't think his wife give a damn about it. I don't think so either. It was convenient. She ain't acting like no grieving wife. Running around, tight clothes on, running everywhere. She ain't acting like no grieving wife. Now, I know everybody grieves differently, but no, I don't think she give a damn. Not at all. Yeah, there's nowhere. Somebody show me where it tells me that I gotta love evil and just put it on the pedestal and I gotta feel bad when it's not around anymore. The hell no. I don't gotta feel bad when evil is gone. When evil is gone, it's gone. And when I saw those people talk, all he did was espouse his relationship with Christ. No, he didn't. That's bullshit. I saw a lot of people that I have respect for in our community, in the gun community. All these well wishes and we miss Charlie and all this. And in my head, I'm thinking, why? And when he was here, and when he was being a hateful bastard, and he was talking shit against people that he don't know, did you check him on it? Did you say, well, Charlie, maybe you want to reconsider that. Maybe you should go think about that. Maybe you should go talk to some people and learn some stuff. Or was you just cool with it and just rocking with them because whatever? Maybe it's something that you believe too. That's the thing that gets me. I don't hang out with no motherfuckers who believe in some weird shit that I can't fuck with and I can't rock with. If I think that you believe in something and you doing something that's weird, we can't be friends. I can't rock with you. I don't even want to deal with you and be around you. So that's why that stuff is crazy. Right, man, she grabbed the back of that man's head like they had something going on. That's why you don't see Usha no more. You don't see his brown wife who has to hide now because he's part of something where those people they hate his wife. They even hate his children. That's one of the things that they start talking about. The white supremacists was like, how is he going to represent us? He got a brown wife. That's what they were saying. It's crazy. The way she dragged the back of it. I know you women know. I know you saw that. I saw it too. That's weird. And then I watch because I'm watching a lot of stuff. I'm watching all of these the Jewish folk caping for these guys, caping for this stuff. What they don't understand is it don't matter the color of your skin. If you call yourself a Jew, your skin can be as white as theirs. They'll still look at you as an other. You're still not one of them. They talk bad about those people the same way they talk about black folks. They basically think that they control black folks. They're the puppet masters for us. That's one of their ideologies. That's why when I see Jewish people caping for them, I'm like, yo, you idiot. They don't love you. I don't like you either. Right now, you're just a useful idiot for them. But they'll learn. They'll learn. That's what's happening with all the different grifters all over the place. What happened is right now, the tension is so high in the country that all of the racists believe they just talking and say whatever they want because the head of the country is on some bullshit, so they can say and do whatever they want. So they don't need all these butter biscuit eating Sambos anymore. They don't need all of the black grifters who talk shit. They talk shit against their people so they can use them as a useful tool. They don't need them. That's why people are falling off. The Brandon Tatums and the Candace Owens and all of them. They're getting booted out of there. And for anybody that's watching the Jews, they're going to do the same thing to you. You're not one of them. You're just a useful idiot. You're not one of them. And they'll kick you to the curb too. And you better learn that. And if you don't, that's on you. Yeah, people don't want to have real conversations. CVP is on the house. You notice he had been out of sight. That's right. That's why he went so defending ICE in the shooting. He's trying because the fact of the matter is people keep talking about, like Trump is if he's here in 28, he not giving up power. He's not going away. First of all, I don't think he's gonna make it out the year. That's number one. I don't think he is. And Vance is not him. No matter what you say about Trump, Trump has a certain way that he is, and he attracted a certain group of people because of the way that he is. Vance is not that. Vance wears eyeliner. If you ever watch him, he wears eyeliner all the time, and he'll get disrespected. He's not cut from that same cloth that Trump is cut from. So I'm saying Trump is an old school New Yorker who wanted to be a mob boss. It's a different way of being. New Yorkers who grew up in a certain time understand what that means. There's a different way. There's a different swag that you got. There's a different sort of way that you try to be because you try to emulate certain things. He want to be John Gotti. That's who he want to be. He wants to be a John Gotti. And when I think about New York mobsters and New York gangsters, that's always the first picture that comes to my mind is Gotti, the Teflon Don, who always had bad suits and always looked good and people they looked the reporters and stuff that he treated them a certain way. That's who he wants to be. He want to be the Teflon Don. He want to be John Gotti. JD Vance can't fill those shoes. He can't be that. He'll lose those people. He don't got enough personality. Yeah, that's true, Destro. That's true. My problem is that I don't trust them either. I don't trust both sides, but I'd rather have one over the other, honestly. Tell you the truth. He was Siege, but that's who he was. That was that's what they called him. They called him the Teflon Don. But that's who we look at Trump. That's who he's trying to be. He's trying to be one of the old school mobsters. Because that mob doesn't exist anymore. Those guys, that doesn't exist anymore like that. That's a throwback to something that doesn't exist like it used to. Pretty sure they're still around doing whatever they do, but not like them. And that's who Trump tries to be. When I look at him, I know what I see. I know what I look at. I'm like, that's who you're trying to be one of those guys. I grew up in that era in New York City, so it was all around me. You go out to restaurants and you go to diners and stuff like that, and you would see those guys. You know those guys that were connected, and they'd be around you. There was a certain way that they moved. There was a certain swagger that they had. It's attractive. It's just like if you were a kid growing up in the trenches and you got certain guys who move a certain way, there's stuff that they do, the way that they dress, the way that they talk, the stuff that they drive. It's attractive. You look at it, it draws you to it. Trump wanted to be those guys. He never was. But he is one of the guys that they try to strong on that he wouldn't allow them to strong on. Problem is he's not smart enough to be that kind of boss and he's too thin-skinned. That's true too, BTG. That is true. I think for us 2A supporters, that's what we struggle with. The Dems always trying to take the guns, and the Republicans will keep them, but low-key don't want us with them. I agree with you 100%, gun guy. 100%, man. And unarmed citizenry is an easily controlled citizenry. That's the first thing they start doing in any part of the world. When someone comes in, they want to restrict the means of defense, of self-defense, so they can do whatever they want to do to you. There's 400 million guns in the United States. We actually have like the largest standing army that's not sworn in. What up, John? It was the Japanese. You don't want to go come fight over here because there'll be a gun behind every blade of grass or something, whatever the phrase is. We got a lot of guns in this country. We do. I don't mind it. But that's why. That's why you disarm the population so you can control the population. You can only control them for so much if they got guns. Hey, Mr. Dixon, what's going on? That's right, two wings of the same bird. Dr. T, and I believe that to an extent. I do. I believe that to an extent. They don't want us armed at all. They don't. But see, them cats that they call the forefathers, they understood what it was like to live under a king, to live under one person who decides that they're going to do whatever they wanted to do to you. And the Second Amendment is not so I can go hunting. It is so if a tyrannical government decides that they want to do the wrong thing to the people can rise up and say, nah, we're not taking that. I second that. Low gun restriction coming up in the rest states as well because they see society. That's right. That's right, BTG. So like, nah, man, we have to. There is an attack on the freedoms that we have right now, and it's more so than it was before. They always try to erode our freedoms or whatever, because we have an aristocracy in this country. Our politicians and stuff. They're the aristocracy of this country, and they always try to erode it. But right now, it is more of an attack on that, when they don't care about the Constitution. You can just throw it out. We don't got to listen to it. I can do whatever I want. But that's when we, the people, have to stand up and be like, nah, we in charge of all of y'all. We put all of y'all in these positions. All this power y'all got, we gave that shit to y'all. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to stand up and be like, nah, we're not going for that. That's why when I see the brothers and sisters in the Second Amendment community co-signing bullshit, it makes me upset. It gets me, and it's usually not folk that look like us. It's some folk that look like myself and look like us, and some of us out there. But for the most part, it's not. And I don't understand it. It's because you truly don't believe in that. Oh, I'm the Second Amendment. Your rights shall not be infringed. No, you don't believe in the Constitution. You pick and choose what you want. You truly don't believe in it. Not at all. Because if you did, there's no way you'd be co-signing this bullshit. The wealth gap is growing daily, and representation for the people is dead. Congress is bought and paid for. Yep, have been for a long time. Once everybody realizes that and get off the wedge issues, it'll be a revolt. BTG, you 100% correct, man. Our problem is here in the United States is that we're too comfortable. And what's happening now is, I don't know, hopefully we're not going through the whole frog in the pot thing. The water just slowly boiling. And before you decide to jump out, it's too late, and then you cooked. Hopefully we don't get to that. And I see people trying to wake up. That's what I see. I see people trying to wake up. Yeah, I hear that, Destro. I don't like them either. I believe that every gun purchase with a background check is a registry. I totally agree, Dr. T. Especially here in New York, where every pistol purchase has to be on our card. I see, and that's the thing when they were giving out the free tax stamps, and people were going crazy. Don't go get one of those, because if you go do that, you're gonna be on a registry or whatever. Every gun you buy, you fill out a 4473. Every single one of those things you buy. Not to mention the fact we all walk around with cell phones, on social media, all type of stuff. They know who we are. We live in a surveillance state, and it's just getting worse. Introducing an AI is just getting worse. That's why I could kill out. People saying, man, I should have got more SBRs. I should have got more. I was stupid. I was doing the regular fingerprints at the time. I should have went and got more. Should have got a whole bunch more. That's why now that the stamps is free, man, I'm going ahead and going crazy. They already know who I am. And especially if you work for any type of financial institutions or anything like that, they know who you are. Every person that has a job with a social security number. That's right, Siege. You tell them. Every person that has a job with a social security number can be tracked. You fill out that W-4, they got you. You pay it into Social Security, they got you. That's why they needed that 5G so they could house more of our data. I agree. They can, yeah. They're building like these giant data centers in places that's going to actually affect the water in those areas because of what they have to do with that stuff. Credit card companies, let them know when we make two-way product purchases. Yeah, that's what I don't care if they know. Yep, the phones track everything. That's why the guy from Instagram was like, no, it's not. I can be sitting talking about something, and all of a sudden I go over my phone, and it's right there. It can't nobody tell me that the phone's not listening and that. No, you can't tell me that. I don't care what they track me. So what? That's right. I agree with you, Caesar, 100%. They can track whatever they want. I don't give a damn. Track what you want. All right, Tony. Yeah, who cares? Track what you want. That don't bother me at all. Because and the funny thing that I always know is that there is a force, or where they could decide that they want to rain down on me, and I could try to fight, and I can try to get out of it, and I may make it out, and I may not. Because a lot of times there is something that can take any of us out, for sure, 100%. But I'm not gonna worry about it. There's no reason for me to worry about it. I'm just one guy who gonna speak out here in the wilderness, saying what he gonna say. And I know I'm not the only one, but people got to wake up and understand what's going on and get together and realize that the freedoms that we have are under attack. We have a person who wants to subjugate us. He wants to be a king. He wants to be a dictator. That's what he wants to do. They really want you, they'll find you. That's right, Biggs. That's right. That's what they do. That's what they do, man. There's a satellite sitting in space right now that can record every damn thing that I'm saying. And ain't got nothing to do with me talking on YouTube. Literally, that thing up there can be recording me sitting here in this room. For sure. We're slowly getting to Euro status. Cameras everywhere, facial recognition, all that comes in slowly. Now they push dash cam. Man, they do that already in New York City. On the corner right from where my people live. Cameras right there. They got the shot cameras, all that. We live in a surveillance state, man. We do. Everywhere you go, there's a camera. So I like watching the First Amendment order people. People be going crazy because someone's standing somewhere in public on a sidewalk with a camera, and you get upset about it. What are you mad about? There's cameras everywhere. When you walk in the store, there's 1,000 cameras recording you. When you walk by a Tesla, it's got 8 cameras recording you. What you mad about? Let me see. I bought 2 pistols 1 week, a few months ago. So you know it, Destro. Hold on a second, Dave. I saw that. I'll see. I can actually find your car. Yeah, see where it's parked. Exactly. The Verizon outage? I didn't really look too much into it, Dave. I didn't look into it too much. That stuff is so commonplace now. It happens all the time. I didn't really look into it. I saw Brother Led talking about it. But I didn't look into it too much. This is stuff that's been going on, and the stuff that they do. That's why you have to be prepared. You need to have another means of communication. You need to be able to live off the grid. Now, there's a certain generation who don't know how to live off the grid. But some of us folk who grew up using payphones and corded phones and all type of stuff, it's a little bit easier for us to disconnect. So AT&T, now Verizon, and Trump sends us all the text and calls. They already had that. They did that before. They did that. I don't know. It was a couple during the Biden administration. They did that. They had that thing where they were supposed to be texting everybody all at once to get to everybody. That's what I'm saying. All that stuff, man. It's no reason to worry about it. No reason at all. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Dixon. Yeah, man. There's no reason to worry about it. How many people does anybody know that has a true landline? Dave, I ain't had a landline in years, man. I had one for a long time, and I finally got rid of it. Yep. I finally got rid of it. I mean, in some situations, I mean, you're going to lose communication. And unless you take the time to really have a communication plan, you may not be able to get in touch with certain people. You might not be able to. You might need to move around and sort of, I know where this person was supposed to be. I might have to get out there. I might have to move around. I swear with my wife and kids, we wouldn't last long. Them some of the bougie. It is what it is, gun guy, man. It's just part of technology. It's part of the times moving. Even home phones or voice. Yeah, a lot of them, they all voice over IP. You can still get a true landline, though. That's true. I should have kept mine, too. Camden police are flying drones now. Not even on the streets anymore. Yeah, man, technology is, But that's why, man, it's important and I don't preach this a lot. I just sort of, I'm a fat guy with guns, but it's another reason. If somebody out there is watching who doesn't talk or whatever, and you're not armed, get yourself armed. Arm yourself up. Be prepared. Because if something does happen and I need to move around, I need more than just this pistol. I might need to go grab the plate carrier and throw the helmet on and grab something big and put on a sidearm and jump in the whip because I got to go get somebody. And I need to be as prepared as I can. If all you got is a pistol, it's better than nothing. It's better than having a stick. So if your communication completely drops, it's time to move as one unit because things have gone. That's right. That's right, BTG. But you need to be able to have some effect. It's like because I hear Led talk about it all the time. If you into gardening and you got all this canned food and dehydrated food and all this other stuff, and we do all this stuff so we can, if something happens, so we be able to eat and take care of our family. If you don't got nothing to protect yourself with, when those people who will eventually show up decide that they want to come take your stuff, and they armed, you can't even put up a good defense. I understand that being armed doesn't mean you're gonna make it out, but nobody wants to be the first one to get shot, and hell with that, nobody want to be the second one to get shot either. And when them guns start going off and it start getting loud out there, people change their mind. People start thinking, well, I ain't gonna go over there because that big fireball just came out that window, look like my fireball, and I don't want to get burnt up. So let me move on. Let me keep it moving. Because I know if I go there, it's gonna be hell to pay. Because I'm trying to get the food so I can survive. I don't want to die by one of them bullets. That's reality. Protect what it is that you love. It's like bro said, protect what you love. Very few people will run towards something. That's right. Most people run away, Siege. That's right. Most people run away. It's important to be armed and protect yourself and protect your family. Protect what you love. Protect the people that you love. It's important. So I feel sorry sometimes for some of our folk who are in places where they can't do that. You're at the mercy of whatever. And I'm one of those guys who will always tell you, make sure you obey the law. But there's a law that says you have the right to defend yourself. It's God's law. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing a man ever wrote. Your God-given right to protect yourself and your family. And for me, that law outweighs every other right. And that law right, that natural law, that God-given right, that God-given law is my responsibility and my duty. And if it means that I got to get something, what up, Reese? If it means that I got to get something and nobody got to know about it and I got to keep it in the tuck and it's quote unquote illegal, it is what it is. I believe that it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I believe it. And if there's a way for me to get out of it and I can, and if it means I got to be spitting fireballs and got to make shit real loud and smoky, then it is what it is. I deal with the rest later. At least I'm still here. Even if I'm sitting in a cell behind bars. You can't just have my life. If you come take it, maybe I was slipping, but if you come take it, and I know you coming to take it, I'm not just giving it to you. You have to fight for it. You can't just have it. My life belonged to me. You didn't give it to me, so you can't have it. Get them with an unexpected set. So 22s do their thing, man. 22 them send a lot of people into the dirt. So we need to build community, buy land, learn to live together. Being spread out doesn't help in a crisis. That's true, Siege. I agree with you. It's ingrained in me to run towards that sound. So you train differently. Maybe stupid, but that's what the military has ingrained to my brain. See, it's different. That's right, Jimmy Walker. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. That's right. And when you look at stuff that's going on, and you look at how crazy things are, man. I watched this guy who was supposed to be the second highest officer in the country. Give me a second. Say that these people were going to be going door to door looking for people. To me, that sounds like some Nazi Germany shit. Now, I happen to live in a place where I don't suspect that would happen, but I know other people who live in places where that could really happen. It could be a real reality. To me, I don't put it past them, but because of where I am, I don't think that'll happen. But don't come to my door. I don't give a fuck who you are. And you don't have no warrant. You know, and 9 times out of 10, if they got a warrant, they're not going to knock anyway. They're going to kick your fucking door in, and before you know it, they're inside already. So don't come knocking on the door because you got on whatever, and I see it, and I'm supposed to just let you in and trust you. No. I'm a black man lives in America. There is a thing inside of me where I don't trust law enforcement. It just is what it is because of what I grew up and because of what I know. I don't talk to police. I don't deal with police. If I got to deal with the police, it's because some shit happened and then I ain't got no choice. But don't come here and you got masks on and all this other stuff. Because I'm going to see you as a threat. I don't give a fuck if you got the little thing on there, if you got your plate. I got some shit that can get through your plate carrier. So don't come knocking on my door with that bullshit. That's not what we do here in America. Fuck all that. And if someone, like I said, if someone wants to come in here, if they got a warrant, they're not going to wait for me to answer the door. They're going to kick the door in and come right on in and catch me off guard. And it'll be a surprise. But I'm not just letting you in because you show up and you got a badge or whatever. No. And if you show up and I believe, if you show up and you step outside the law, you law enforcement or not, and you outside the law, you're not representing the law because the law doesn't show up when you get there. The law is already there and you're supposed to enforce it and uphold it. And if you outside of that, whatever happens to you, happens to you. That's what I believe on that. In any situation. Law enforcement do whatever they do. I'm not against all law enforcement. But if you law enforcement and you show up and you're working outside of the law and you lose your life over it, that's your fault. That's your fault. If you're going to be about it, be about it. Be law enforcement all the time. The law didn't show up when you got there. It was there before. You're supposed to come and uphold that. Supposed to believe in that oath you swear to the Constitution. Most of them don't even know the law. They don't care nothing about that shit. They get on a power trip. Now, I believe there's good and bad law enforcement. I don't believe all law enforcement is bad. But if you are quote unquote good law enforcement and you let the bad ones just run wild and do bullshit, then you're just as bad as they are. You don't respect that oath that you took. Speak to yourself. Sadly, most don't understand it. Do you feel differently if it's a black? No, I don't care if it's a black officer, white officer. I don't give a damn. Because what ends up happening with that is, a lot of times, they ain't black no more. They put their uniform on, they turn blue. You get something that it doesn't change. Right, law enforcement with no morals, I don't trust any of them. And that's the thing. The reputation that law enforcement have earned, or that they earned it. They earned it. People didn't just get it one day and say, oh, I'm just going to hate the guy because no, they earned it. If anybody does a bunch of bullshit and you in a position of authority, eventually people going to look at you and be like, yo, they on some bullshit. In the same way that they generalize groups of people, people generalize them. So every time you see lights and sirens, you see a badge, you see a gun, you see a taser, you see some cat with some sort of uniform on, first thing, from where I'm from, the first thing you think is, oh, that motherfucker probably ain't up to no good. The same way they generalize the other folk who are not law enforcement, they get generalized because they don't let too much bullshit go on in their ranks. They earned their reputation. That's why sometimes you get a cop who's actually a good cop who getting some shit and lose his life or whatever, and you'll have people who really be upset because he was never on no bullshit. He never treated me bad. He never did nothing like that. That type of stuff happens, man. I don't care if it's a black officer or not. And if it's a black officer and you acting too crazy, what they say? Black police showing out for the white cop. Happens a lot. But then you do get I ran into some cops that were some brothers that treated you a certain way. They treated you like I'm a brother talking to another brother. Even though I got on this badge and this gun or whatever, I'm talking to a brother. And you have situations where people got stuff because of that. I've seen officers step in with black folks getting done dirty by the white cop, and then the black officer step in to stop it. Like, nah, you can't do that. Because what they see is they see their son, they see their brother, they see their nephew, or they see their niece, or they see their daughter, or their auntie, or their grandfather, or uncle, or whatever. They see them in that person. Happens all the time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, man. It's just, and guess what I say? There's bad apples in every bunch, and I try not to have a broad stroke as much as I can. I try to deal with the person that's in front of me. It's hard sometimes. It's really hard. Got the bad cop setting up the good cop all the time. Yeah, I agree with that too. It's like it's like I know all you saw what was it? American Gangster. I know you saw that. The guy who actually took down Frank White, the Denzel character. His whole thing with him, how that whole thing started, and it was a true story, is that they busted those guys with all that money. And what put them against him like that, his own police force, was because he had the audacity to be honest and turn the money in. Ain't that weird? It's crazy. You mad at him and you can't look at him a certain kind of way because he's honest. When you're supposed to be in a profession where you're supposed to have some sort of honor. It's just some bullshit. I used to work in law enforcement before the military, and I used to get assignments in our community because I felt like I knew us and could control the situations better. And gun guy, I get that. But then, because you get looked at a little bit different, especially if you don't act like an asshole. See, we have fake ICE here in Roanoke, really robbing folks, taking their cars. And you want to know something? And that's why they should not be allowed in any state to walk around with masks on. You shouldn't be. No, the regular cop walking around the street ain't got no damn mask on. You shouldn't be allowed to be walking around with a mask on. And that's what I say. It's just it's setting themselves up for a problem. Because even though people can be really docile and sort of sit around, everybody has a breaking point. Everybody does. And there's more of us than there are of them. I heard a guy that I watch, a political guy, and he's sort of anti-gun, but some of his views I agree with. That's one of the views that I don't. And he started talking about, what do you think you're gonna do with your AR-15? They have tanks and they have planes and they have this and they have all of that. And I'm like, yeah, they do. But my first thing that I start thinking about is ask the Afghanis about that. Ask the Vietnamese about that. They ran us the fuck up out of them countries. And we got the most powerful army on the planet. Exactly, gun guy. The most powerful army on the planet. And they ran us the fuck up out of there. We didn't win Vietnam. We were in Afghanistan for 20 years and we lost. They sent us home. That's what happened. When a people decide that they're going to work together and that somebody is here and steps foot on where I'm at and we're not going for that, it's hard to defeat that people. It's hard when they get on one accord and decide, no, I don't care how many tanks you got. I don't care how many planes you got, nothing. You'll be fighting them for 20 years. The same thing they did with all that might and power of the United States that they did over in Afghanistan. And you know what happened? Got to run the fuck up out of there. We'd have been there for another 20 years. Kicked our ass for 10 years. That's right. With flip-flops and AKs and no options. That's right, gun guy. It's the truth. It's the truth. We won a lot of battles, but we lost the war. It is what it is. Wow, William, what up, man? Good to see you, man. Yeah, that's why when he said that, I was like, nah, man, you don't know history. You don't know history. You can outlast. I mean, hell, you can look at the Ukrainians. The Russians should have squashed them already. They should have squashed them already. But those people love their land and won't just lay down and say, okay, you can just take and do whatever the fuck you want to do to us. I mean, just talking a little something while we're in, that's all. Just talking a little something. A little everything, man. A little religion, a little politics, all that. You can't beat an ideology. When somebody is willing to die for that, they believe it's a right. That's right, BTG. You can't. That is exactly right. And that's why that's why you couldn't beat those people, man. You couldn't beat them. They tried, but they couldn't. Now there's a way to do that, but you're talking about an extinction level event, and they're not willing to do that. Most people aren't. Because it would take nothing. I just go back to the Ukraine and Russia thing. It would take nothing for them to end that in 2 seconds. But then you got to deal with what comes behind that. And I don't believe anybody wants a mutual mass destruction unless they're crazy. Now, I don't know. Oh, Orange Buffoon, he may know. He losing his mind. You know, had a stroke and he's getting, senile. That's why he did all that crazy. That's why he got up from the table and walked to the window. Let me just, in the middle of a meeting on camera with the media, he's going to get it from the table and walk over to the window and look out at an empty space. Oh, this is the door to the ballroom. Ain't nothing there. Everything was torn up like that. That's old man behavior. The secret to the source is they believed in the same thing. That's right. But here in the United States, we're divided by design. And you want to know what happens, gun guy? Something has to happen to pull people together. And that's what you see. That's why you see the things going on across the country. There is something for people to latch on to. People who don't usually talk to each other, who don't generally care about each other, but there is a thread in there that they can latch on to. People like, nah, I don't like this. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not doing this. This guy over there believes what I believe. This guy does. You'll see it. It takes time for that, because that's why the whole divide and conquer thing. That's why they try to divide us. That's exactly why. But that can be overcome too, especially today in this day and age, because we have so much information moving around and floating around. It's easy. It's easier. Last time I saw all of us together, that's right. It was 9/11. It can happen again. Okay, so I can forgive you. This Seahawks 49ers game isn't worth it. All right. Yeah, it can happen again. And I see it. That's why I gauge things by where I am. I live in Trump country. That's where I live at. I'm in a red state. Where I'm at is Trump heavy. But when I started seeing the cracks in that, people going around like, hey, doesn't matter what your ideology is, doesn't matter what party you for. We see the tyranny happening. We see this. We need to get together, or we need to. That stuff will happen. And we are divided. But you can overcome that. That's right. It's easy to conquer divided people. But it's easier, I believe, to overcome that now, too, especially with all the information that floats around, all the communication that goes around. It's not like before. That's why they're getting it. Before, when it took you 3-4 days to get somewhere, no matter what. Now information moves instantaneously. And I can talk to a guy on the other side of the world in 3 seconds. Or somebody in another part of the country. Just like that. That's why a lot of the old tricks don't work no more. People wake up and be like, wait a minute, you can't do that stuff. A lot of times they playing from an old playbook. That's what happens with politicians these days. They play from an old playbook. Donald Trump had a new playbook. It wasn't really new. He just sort of flipped the script on him a little bit. He started saying the quiet parts out loud and shaming the people who try to act like they're righteous. One day, many years down the line, somebody's going to really do a true study about this guy and why he was successful. There's a lot to it. A lot of it has to do with hate, but there's a lot more than that. Hey, what up, TK? He played on a thing. Somebody go study why Mondani became the mayor of New York City. Him and Trump are the same, just with different ideologies. It's weird. People love the truth. He spoke his truth like him. Exactly. That's true, Ganga. This is why prepping and being armed is so important. That's right. It is. It's important. That's right. People don't believe the news anymore, Dr. T. They don't. Because they're on bullshit. They just are. Especially now with everybody bending the knee. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. It's all a bunch of propaganda. That's all it is. That's right. That's why content creating is imperative. That's why it's important. That's right. And then with that, you have to watch that too. Somebody's leaning too far this way. Somebody's leaning too far that way. You got to watch that too. You got to eat the meat and spit out the bones. And do some of your own research too. and look into different things. You have to. Hold on. Turn this off. All right, there we go. Had a reminder going off. Yeah, but my hope is that we'll be okay. My hope is that the American people as a whole will wake up and understand what's going on, and we'll get it together. That's what I hope. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's what I hope. The Second Amendment has to be absolutely untouchable. Jimmy Walker, I understand that. But the fact of the matter is that people have to be willing to fight and be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. One of the things that you learn, and this could be just my opinion, being a prepper, part of prepping is learning to be uncomfortable. It's learning to be uncomfortable. It's learning to survive with being uncomfortable, and it's learning to prevail while you're uncomfortable. Because I don't want to just survive in a situation. I want to prevail in that situation. I want to make it out and be victorious. You can survive a situation, but you're all fucked up. I don't want to be that. I want to prevail. Means I survived and I tore shit up and I'm the victor. So I look at that. I learned that from a SEAL, a real Navy SEAL. He was on SEAL Team 3, Killer B. He taught me that when I was in the training one time. Planning on getting more legally involved this year. Okay. Yeah, man, we in funny times. We in times that I've never seen before, that I probably thought I never would see. And this is sort of, it's interesting and uneasy all at the same time. The young man I show speed is helping to change the narrative of Africans being only huts. Yeah. We can't believe everything they tell us. I believe that. I believe that. I agree with you on that. But I focus on American issues. I have what I think, and I have how I think about things and how I feel about things. And hey, what up, Ivan? What's going on? I'm not from this planet. What up, yo? And I just have a certain way that I think about things. In Iowa, we voted the Second Amendment. He's saying in Iowa, we voted the Second Amendment was validated by the people on the ballot. See, I like that. I like that, Jimmy. To be blunt, you have to be willing to die for something. That's right. Life is not worth living if you're scared to die. That's true. Just my opinion. I don't want to go. I go along with that opinion. Every major change that's ever made, every major change involves some sort of bloodshed. I don't care if it's from civil rights, right on down into if you believe the story of Christ. Every major change involves some sort of bloodshed. Somewhere there has to be a willingness for you to, something, think about that. You may have your life, you may have to give it up. If it means I have to give up my life to save my wife and save my son, I just got to do it. If it means I got to give up my life to save my loved ones, I just got to do it. I got to put myself out there. Even if me giving it up may not fix the problem. I do believe that there is an honorable death. I do believe that there's a good death. That's a whole other conversation. We learn to go back to growing gardens once again, hunting and fishing. That's right. I get that, Rev. If times get any worse, I might have to go back to, hey, BTG, listen, man. If you need some oil, man, I got some extra bottles for you. Z Diddy. I got some extra bottles for you, brother. Yo. The Republican majority did it that way so that it couldn't be touched if the Democrats took over it. I get that. Talk about hunting and fishing. People think I'm crazy. The people think this. Nah, man, you need to know how to fish. That's something that I've known how to do my entire life. My father's a fisherman. I've always known how to do that. I'm not a hunter, but I can learn how to do that. So I love my man Peanut. Shout out to Peanut out there, got on the deal with a hootie hoo. I like to see that. I'm gonna do some sort of hunting. Like one of my favorite channels, if y'all don't watch, is CMB Outdoors. Boss man with his pops and his sons and everything. They be out there hunting all the time, hunting and fishing. That's one of my favorite channels. I watch it all the time. I subscribe to him. He grow gardens. He do all of that. Cat named Cornell out in Texas. I watch it all the time. That's one of my favorite channels. He be doing all type of stuff. But they big things, man. They right now is black powder season in Texas. They out there hunting black powder. They be out there getting it in. Yeah, don't fish in the Hudson. You got to go out to Fort Rockaway, Dr. T. That's why I used to fish at. Okay, I don't know Bruce Mitchell. I'll look him up, Jimmy. But I know CMB Outdoors. I know CMB Outdoors. That's one of my favorite channels. I watch it all the time. Yeah, go out to Fort Rockaway, Dr. T. You can fish out there in Jamaica Bay. I grew up fishing out there in Jamaica Bay. Catch porgies out there, blackfish, sea bass, all type of stuff. Yeah, I grew up fishing out there, fishing over the bridges, fishing over the pier. Like I said, I've been fishing as long as I can walk. I don't do it a lot anymore. Oh, from Swamp People? Okay. Oh, Bruce Mitchell. I know who that is. Jimmy. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. As soon as you said Swamp People. All right, I got tree stands, lease property, trail cams, and all right. So you be hunting. Yeah, I want to go do it. I want to do it at least once. Because my thing is, I want to do it, and then I want to be involved and not just watch someone do it. I want to skin them, cut them open, do all of that. To me, it's almost like a respect sort of thing. I think that if I can't do that, then I shouldn't be out there trying to hunt nothing. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. I want to get out there and get in the middle of it. You know what's going on. I'm not a squeamish person. I've never been scared of blood and guts and all that. That's just not something I'm not scared of. Yeah, the funny thing is, field dress. There you go. That's right, Tony. That's what I want to do. The funny thing is, I watch more First Amendment stuff than I do Second Amendment stuff. The First Amendment stuff is entertaining to me. I like to watch it. People just go crazy for nothing. And I watch Second Amendment stuff too, but I watch more hunting stuff, cooking stuff, and First Amendment stuff. More First Amendment stuff than anything. Oh, you worked in a hog killing plant. Okay. That's got to be something interesting. That had to stink when I think about it. That had to stink. We always fishing for a Rockaway. We used to take the Green Line bus. All right, targets. Yeah, my pops are from Brooklyn, man. I grew up in Queens, but that's where we used to go. That was the spot. I done spent many a day out in Fort Rockaway fishing all day. I know. I want to do that too. I want to go on a bow hunt too. But yeah, I done spent many a day, man, fishing out in Fort Rockaway. Many. And then because we were on my pops, we would go out by Shea Stadium and catch the boats out there to go fishing. When with the old Shea Stadium, which ain't there no more, we used to go catch boats out there. We go out to Sheepshead Bay, we catch a boat. We go out to Sea Isle on the island, and then we went on the big fishing trips. We drive over out to Montauk and get on the boats and go way out into the ocean. Those are some of the best memories of my life, man, in my childhood, doing that stuff. Can use you on the team up here for yeah. I'm not squeamish, man. Not at all. The blood and guts. All it is blood and guts. You know, it washes off. Later this year, I plan on getting another house back in Louisiana so I can hunt. Oh, all right, Jimmy. Yeah, man. It's just hunting is just something. I'm a city guy. I grew up in the concrete jungle. Something that we just never did. But my pops was always a fisherman. His father was a fisherman. My grandfather, the boot. They were fishermen. That's what they do. The way that I collect guns, that's how my father collects fishing equipment. The same way I collect guns. The same way I got all he got all types of poles and knives and fishing reels, all type of stuff. So yeah, my collecting, a different type of collecting, but my pops is like that with the fishing stuff, man. There's so much fishing, so much ridiculous. That's what and we were buying fishing stuff for so many years. That's all we got them. Now I buy them books all the time. You can't fish anymore like you used to. So now you always get books. You always read. Love Flatbush Avenue, and I'm from the DMV. Love going up. Yeah, man. New York is always gonna be home, man. Always. That's why I said when you say you up at, that's where my brother used to go, gun guy. He used to go for his drills. He used to go up to Fort Drum. He still likes seeing stuff get blown up. He was a firing specialist. He still like it. He still when he talks about it, it's pitch black, and then they map them coordinates, and then they send it, and all of a sudden, just when it lands, whatever, boom, that big. He loves it, man. That big. He still loves it to this day. When he talks about it, you can see the twinkle in his eye. In South Carolina, where I'm from, PSA has one building for guns and another building right next to it for fishing. Oh, okay. Yeah, when I was in South Carolina, that one when we went down to Myrtle Beach, the PSA was just, it was in the wrong spot. It wasn't anywhere for me to go to it. Because I would have stopped there. I'd have went to one because I want to go inside one of the retail stores. I'll be able to one at some point. Down here in South Georgia, we have all the wild hogs and deer you want. Yeah, I want to do a hog hunt. My brother lives in Texas. If I want to do some sort of hog hunt, I can get with him. We can figure it out. Yeah, my brothers live in Texas. And we know a lot of people. They do some sort of hog hunts here too, but I think it's maybe like on a reserve or something. Me too, Jimmy. Can't wait for the meetup, man. June 11th, 12th, and 13th. On 6th. We'll all get together. Just in case you didn't know, Women's Conference, meet and greet, vendor showcase. We got a community range day. We got a vendor range day. And we got the RGAs. A lot going on, man. We're going to have a good time, y'all. Be there. Be square, yo. You're gonna miss it. You're going to see all the videos. You're going to hear all the laughter. I'm like, man, I wish I was there. Tickets are on sale now. Regularmeetup.com. Dr. T, you're going to have a ball, man. You're going to have a good time. I got it, Jimmy. It's still in the, I got it, man. I got it. It's in the storage. I kept all that stuff together. Remind me a little bit closer. I'll make sure I go and I bring it. I know I'm going to have to go in there and get stuff anyway to bring with me down to Florida. I know I am. They always got me loving stuff. And them hunts seem like they fun. Oh man, it was fun, man. The meetup was always fun. It's been fun since the first one. Now for me, it's sentimental, it's work. I remember the first one. I remember how impromptu it was, how we put it together, and we just, we found something and just picked Houston. It was hot as hell. Whew. Texas gave me PTSD, man. And we had a hell of a time, man. Every time. I cannot say we had one meetup where we have not had a good time. Not one. Every one of them is fun, and they get better every single time. My favorite part of the meetup is always, it ain't got nothing to do with guns, ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. It's got to do with seeing everybody, talking with everybody, shooting the shit, bullshitting, watching everybody have fun. There's a lot of work to put it together. And I like, at points, I do this every meetup. I go pick a corner and I sit back and I just watch everybody. It might even look like I'm being standoffish, but I'm not. I'm enjoying watching everybody enjoy the hard work that we put in to put this thing together for everybody. It makes it all worth it. I'm like, yeah, look at everybody. Everybody laughing, joking, you see everybody getting together. I love it, man. It's become more to me. That's right. The fellowship time is the best. That's right. It's important. It's something that's really important, something that I think is necessary. I think it's necessary in our community, as a Black community, a gun community. I think it's very necessary. I love getting together with everybody. Our brother Nightline, who's not with us anymore, he was a good brother. Some of y'all might not know him. A lot of y'all might know he came to the meetups. He was a good dude, man. His life got snatched away over some bullshit. He was a good dude. I still miss him. I miss him not being around. He was a good dude, man. I miss him not being there. Shout out to that brother. Rest in peace, man. Appreciate that, Tony. Appreciate it. I see. I hear you, gun guy. Man, I hope to see Roadblock 2 this time. I'm pretty sure. I think he said he flying. He flying out. They're not driving. They're flying. That's right, Siege. Rest in peace to that brother, man. He was a good dude. I remember the first time I met him was in, I believe we were in Thomasville, or was it in Nashville? One of the two. I think it was Nashville, because he walked up to me. I didn't really know who he was. He walked up to me. Looked like he just came off work. Good dude, man. Real good dude. Was out there teaching my son shooting at 22. He was a good dude, man. Missed that guy. And he was involved in the community. Good dude, too. Well, yeah. We at that mark. We passed that mark. But tomorrow, be on the lookout. Keep notifications on. Olight PLX. We're going to drop that video. Get your tickets if you didn't get your tickets. I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Thank you, Dr. T. He was part of our community, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with the big fella. 2 more to 100, man. Appreciate y'all sticking with me all the way through, all 100 of them pounds, man. Appreciate that. And we'll do this again in 2 weeks. Being around that many black people with all that firepower is it's beautiful. I love it, Jimmy. I believe that every black American need to be armed to the teeth and loaded down with as much ammunition as you can. And I believe that because of the history of this country. And we're going to end it on that. Much love, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all. I got to see when we're going to see y'all again. And I'll see. I don't know. Maybe I just go live or something. We'll see. But I'll see y'all. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get them 2 pounds off. We're going to be at 100 pounds down. Woo. It's great. Love y'all, man. Peace. I'm out.